so in love with you.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, what we're going to do today is a full breakdown over the state of Texas. And I'm going to go through various states throughout next month, and I'm going to do a similar breakdown as what I'm going to do today. Now, where we're going to explore is Austin, Dallas, and Houston. And we're going to look at 4 things to kind of determine where those metro areas are at in the housing market crash. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is overvaluation. We're going to use Black Knight's data in their annual HPI growth chart to determine how much these metro areas have gone up in value over the last year. And the second thing we're going to look at is price drops for sold homes. We're going to explore all 3 of those cities to determine how far from the peak are we really. Now, the third thing, and very important, we're going to go over inventory surges in each of those metro areas. And the fourth thing we're going to close out on is price cuts for new listings. And you guys do me a favor. I put a lot of effort in this video. Understand this is my personal YouTube channel. And for that effort, please like this video, comment below. You guys know I love hearing from you, and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's get started on the overvaluation right now. Okay, guys, again, this is Black Knight's annual HPI growth, and I'm just going to essentially call this overvaluation. So we're going to start here on Austin. Now, as you can see, so Austin is up 22%. Essentially, what that means to me is it has 22% room to go down. But nevertheless, Austin's at 22%. Now, take a look up here. This is Dallas. Dallas is actually up 27%. Houston's only up, which is still a lot, 18%. Now, again, you guys, normal growth that we want to see, 5% growth. Okay, so we want to see 5%. We don't see that. We clearly see over the last year, Dallas has the biggest overvaluation. But I believe if we look at the 2-year, it's actually Austin that has the biggest overvaluation. But nevertheless, that's what we're seeing here. And you guys can, still tell is even though Houston is up 18% year for the last year, that's still a lot. So Houston still has a lot of room to crash. But nevertheless, we're going to move on to the next data set right now. And we're going to look at the prices of actual sold homes, starting with Austin. Okay, guys, and what I'm doing here to get this information is I'm using Zillow. This will be linked in my description. You guys can actually go there as well, do the drop down, and find out what is going on in your metro area. Now, the problem is Zillow does not make this interactive, so it's really hard to kind of pinpoint like exact months because I can't zoom in here. So we're going to start with Austin. And again, this is Zillow's home value index. So here's what happened in Austin. So Austin peaked in May. Austin peaked in May at $603,263. That was the median home price in May. That has actually fallen. And again, it's a little bit hard to see here, but that has fallen to $566,533, which means from the peak to July, home prices have dropped $36,730 or 6%. That's right, you guys. Austin from peak right now is down 6%. So if you would have waited 2 months, home prices are now 6% lower. And that's a month-over-month drop of 2.7%. That is horrific. Now let's go to Dallas. So here's Dallas right here. Again, Zillow Home Value Index. Now, again, it's really hard to pinpoint, but what I'm seeing here is as of June, Dallas actually peaked in June for home value. The home values in June were $401,255. So that went down slightly to $396,904 or $4,351. So essentially what that means in Dallas from peak, Dallas is actually down -1% from peak, and month over month, 1.1%. So that's signaling a start of things to come. And I believe when August comes out, you guys, we're going to see even sharper declines. Now let's go over Houston right now. So as you can see, here's Houston. Now, again, I couldn't zoom in on June, but essentially Houston remains unchanged. Now that's unfortunate because I'm in Houston. So essentially they didn't go down at all. The average value is still essentially at the peak in Houston at $313,999. Again, you guys, this is lagging. So as you know, in my local market of Kingwood, I'm seeing price drops in Kingwood, which is a little bit more specific. Houston is a broad and very big area. So clearly what we're seeing here is Austin is leading the way out of the 3 metro areas in Texas at a negative decline of 6% of house value. Now what we're going to do is jump into inventory right now. Take a look at what I found for Austin. And you guys, Austin is a really good one to go over. So the low of the inventory was in February at 5,467 units. It spiked up to 11,150 units in July. And what that represents, you guys, in Austin is inventory growth of 103%. That is right. In Austin, we have triple-digit home inventory growth. Now in Dallas, we're also noticing a pretty decent surge in inventory. Now, as of February, which is down here, inventory in Dallas was only $14,415. That is spiked up as of July to 23,910 units, which is a difference of 9,495 total units, or a 65% inventory surge in Dallas from February. So Dallas isn't triple digits, but 65% is a lot more inventory. Let's jump over to Houston right now. Okay, so here's my home city of Houston. Now, Houston right here. So the low was in February in Houston of 20,026 total units. That's spiked up to, as of July, 24,790 units, for a difference of 4,764, making the inventory growth in Houston at 23%. And again, remember, it's super hyper local. So in Kingwood, I'm seeing a lot more than a 23% inventory surge. But overall, Houston's experiencing a 23% inventory surge. But again, of those 3 cities, clearly Austin is having a surge of inventory of triple digits, followed by Dallas again at 65% and Houston moderately at 23%. So far it's looking like Houston is the most stable metro area that we're covering in Texas. Now what I want to go over is listing price cuts to see what's going on in the market right now. Take a look at what I found out in Austin. Now, yet again, Austin leads the way of all 3 metro areas. Here's the share of listings with price cuts. Now, as you can see in Austin, Austin is 25.2%, which means 25% of listings have cut their prices. This is over 2019 levels, which is represented in the green line. So Austin is over 2019 as far as listing price cuts. Now let's go over to Dallas and see where Dallas is at right now. Now, as you can see, Dallas is close, but it is not over Austin. Dallas is at 22%. Again, 22% of listings in Dallas are showing price cuts, which is over 2020 levels. It is not over 2019 like Austin, but it is over 2020 levels, which is represented in this blue line right here. So 22%, still a lot of listings with price cuts. Let's take a look at Houston right now. So as you can see, here's Houston. Now, Houston's at 20.9% of listings showing price cuts. Obviously, they're not only looking at Kingwood, because as you guys know from my Thursday housing market updates, Kingwood is flourishing with inventory. But it's interesting to note, as a whole, price cuts in Houston are over 2020 levels and under 2019 levels. So that's it, you guys. I wanted to make a short video and give you guys a ton of data when it came to those 3 metro areas. Now, as you can see, of those 3 metro areas, I believe, based on the data we just went over, Austin by far is in the worst shape. And I suspect Austin is going to see biggest and largest price declines moving forward, followed by Dallas, and then probably San Antonio, which we didn't cover, and then last, Houston. So it appears that Houston, which was where I live, is the most stable big metro area in Texas. So that's pretty cool. Although I do want prices to go down even further in Houston, because that is where I live. But other than that, you guys, I hope you guys got some value from this video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck and I hope you win.